Hello guys, gals, non-binary pals, and waterfowls. I'm Big Mike, and we're back with another episode of Big Mike's Indie Game Watch, featuring another game I tried at this most recent Steam Next Fest. In this episode, we'll be looking at Lueur and the Dim Settlers by Darenn Keller. Lueur and the Dim Settlers, as you probably guessed it since I just mentioned I checked it out at this most recent Steam Next Fest, is a game that has a demo out. So that's what you're going to be seeing in the background. Now, I may jump around a bit or maybe linear. I'm not quite so sure yet as the recording of this. Also, at various times, I'm going to be comparing it to other games, and so you may occasionally see gameplay from those games as well. Alright, now let's take a look at the Steam page. The Steam page reads, Miniature Survival Builder perfect for short and relaxing gaming sessions. Rebuild and manage your realm, collect resources, and decide the fate of your people. Explore the darkness and unveil the secrets of the black monoliths to bring back light to the world. Lueur feels familiar, yet unlike any building strategy games you've played before. Unwind and play with ease, whether at home or on the go, with your gamepad, keyboard, or handheld console. Lueur won't hold your hand through endless tutorials or convoluted menus. You can dive right in and start building. Go back to the roots of gaming, where exploration and experimentation were the key to fun and discovery. Build to survive, thrive, or relax. The choice is yours. Experience the game on both macro and micro levels as you oversee the management of your structures and resources while also immersing yourself in many arcade games to collect resources, explore the world and story as you reshape it. Your choices will determine the fate of your realm and its inhabitants. Take a brain break. In Lueur, you can collect and harvest resources yourself by playing exciting arcade games. The better you play, the more resources you get to build your city. This adds a new level of excitement and surprise to the game, while also providing a welcome brain break from city management. A comfy builder. While still playable with a keyboard, Lueur has been designed to be played with a gamepad or handheld console. My favorite spot to play is in bed. What's yours? Shorter than a Netflix episode. Did you already give up on a game because you needed to book at least 2 or 3 hours to play it? Or because you completely forgot where you were at 1 week later? It's not going to happen here. Each level is between 30 to 60 minutes long. You don't have to remember anything the next time you play. Make it your own. Choose the game mode that fits your playstyle or customize the gameplay parameters yourself. Settler. A forgiving turn-based experience to relax and learn, and that's the one I played. Survivor, a challenging real-time experience to test your tactical thinking. Deity, a nightmarish, fast-paced challenge only for veterans. Explore and experiment. Are you done with endless tutorials with blob of text to explain to you each and every thing? Lueur is simple to play with a very minimal interface. Experiment and understand by yourself. Explore the gameplay elements the same way you will explore this mysterious world. Shape the story, make your choices. Depending on your buildings, small sub-stories will emerge. Their outcome depends on your choices and will directly affect your city and resources. Will you be a kind and benevolent ruler, or will you be pragmatic and ruthless to ensure your survival? The fate of your people is in your hands. Bring light back to the world. Decades ago, titanic obsidian monoliths rained down from the sky. A raging tempest of unfathomable darkness gathered around them, slowly crawling across the world and consuming all in its path. You are the ruler of this land, once mighty and resolute, now broken and wounded, but not defeated. You will reclaim the realm and bring back light to the world. After years of wonder, you finally found Lueur, a mystical creature able to radiate a powerful enough brightness to dissipate darkness. It is time to explore the shadows and rebuild your realm. And with that out of the way, this is what my experience of the demo has been like. In regards to the gameplay, it's like a mix of Civilization on the SNES, Oregon Trail, and RimWorld. And this is what I mean by that. Now, because I feel like RimWorld is still a well-known, well-played game in this day and age, I feel like that doesn't need an explanation. Anybody who's familiar with both games can easily pick up on that. But I'll explain the other two. It brings to mind Sid Meier's Civilization on the SNES because both games start the player in a map that is shrouded in darkness. As you move further and further and explore the map, the darkness diminishes. Both games have you engaging in agriculture to feed and grow your population, and in mining to extract resources to help you grow as well. Both games are played on a grid or a world divided by squares. And lastly, both the games feature the main character being guided by a supernatural entity. Now, in the case of Civilization, it's a deity, and in the case of Lueur and the Dim Settlers, it's Lueur, of course. I will say, however, I much prefer Lueur as he's quite adorable. He's not just a cute mascot, he also serves as a guide giving you helpful advice and pointers as well. He also is a flame or spirit of ethics. Now, once you set up your bazaar, you can expand your workforce by buying more workers. And if that sounds like slavery, you wouldn't be alone in thinking that. Lueur believes so as well and doesn't like that idea at all. In regards to Oregon Trail, in that classic game, there's a hunting mini-game where you have to hunt for food to feed your travelers. Similarly, in Lueur and the Dim Settlers, there's a hunting mini-game, but there are many other mini-games as well, such as the one to collect light, to chop down trees, to fight darkness, and maybe even more. This adds a great deal of variety to the game and serves to really distinguish it from any of the games it bears similarity to. There's also a lot of strategy that goes into what you're doing as well. You can't just go developing things at random, you have to take into consideration the squares adjacent, as well as the consumption of your resources, your food, and your workers. Also, every so often the darkness will manifest itself and begin wreaking havoc, and you will have to confront it to push it off all the squares it has infected, before it reaches your castle or your main encampment. This is done via a minigame, and there's at least 2 minigames you will engage in to remove the darkness. So you have to make sure you have both plenty of light stockpiled in buildings such as churches, lighthouses, and observatories that create more light to help you overcome the darkness. Now on to the aesthetics. The game is really easy to look at, and I don't just mean that in the sense that the graphics are beautiful, though I do love the graphics. The colors are very soft on the eyes, and that makes this a perfect game to play in the dark. I'm a huge fan of Lueur's design. It's simple yet so well done. I really love his expressions. His expressions and his reactions whenever something happens are priceless and give his character such a great deal of life and depth. And lastly, the music is light and is combined with a slight ambience that will change depending on what square you're over and what you have on that square. For example, squares where you have a lumberjack log cabin, you will hear the sound of axes hitting trees. Or mountains that have mines, you will hear the sounds of pickaxes hitting rocks, for example. And here are my final thoughts on Lueur and the Dim Settlers. With both the easygoing gameplay and the easy on the eyes visuals, Lueur and the Dim Settlers has become my new comfort game. When I need a break from the world, I like to fire this one up. After a hectic day, it's a nice easygoing game to sit down, play, and mellow out to. After completing the demo, Lueur pops up and promises more awesome things to come in the full game, such as thieves and a dark cult. I look forward to seeing these getting implemented and to see how they impact the game. And lastly, I just want to say, Darenn Keller, you have magic on your hands, fam. You have a game that is both easy to get into and strategic, with very comfy, chill vibes and variety, and with an adorable mascot. And that, in my humble opinion, is a recipe for success. I look forward to checking out the full game and seeing what other awesomeness it has in store. And that's gonna do it for my thoughts on this game. Please be sure to give the demo a try. It's available on Steam and also wishlist it too. Wishlisting games is a great way to support indie developers. Be sure to give Darenn Keller a follow on Twitter too. Special thanks to Fran, who does a wonderful job of doing my art. She's back on Twitter, so please give her a follow. A special thanks to all my friends on Twitter. I wouldn't be here without you all. And most importantly, a special thank you to all of you for watching. Please like this video if you liked it. Dislike it if you dislike it. Feel free to comment below and let me know what you think. And if you like my content, please subscribe and turn your notifications on. Until next time, fam, remember, just be yourself and you'll be awesome. Peace out!